Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's stream for Rocksmith 2014 edition Remastered. My name is Dan Amrick. Hi, I'm going to be your host for today's live stream. As much as someone can control the flow of the music that you're going to hear today, that's going to be me. I'm the community developer on behalf of Rocksmith 2014, which is increasingly inaccurately named because we are still alive here in 2017 and still bringing out great music every week, such as the 90s Mix 3-pack. We never seem to run out of really interesting songs from the 90s that people go, oh, I remember that song. Oh, and I didn't know the name of it. And actually, I think we have a couple of those this week. We're going to play 3 different songs from 3 different artists this week. And as a bonus, we're going to get Brian Pody to play Acoustic. That's coming up a little bit later in the show.
Unplugged.
Yes, we are wondering, first of all, if he's ever held a grandpa's guitar. And 2, if he can do pinch harmonics with it. So we're going to find out as we show you microphone mode. People may not know that you can plug in a microphone to Rocksmith and play it with an acoustic guitar. And so we showed it once a long time ago, and one of our helpful producers said, you know what you guys haven't done on this show? Okay, fine. So we're going to make it happen today, which means if things go wrong, this could be a very, very entertaining stream. Also, of course, giveaways from Ernie Ball. We've got some DLC codes courtesy of our friend Ubivertigo here in the chat room. He's going to be your chat moderator and the person who is in charge of all of our giveaways. So if you're here for the free stuff, pay attention to what Doug Ubivertigo has to say, and he will show you the path to getting free things. In the meantime, take a look at the trailer for this week's pack. Like I said, it's the 90s Mix 3, and it's got 3 songs that you may recognize, including one from Clueless. Give it a look.
Sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. There's a world outside the darkened door where blues won't haunt you anymore. With a brave heart, free lover's soul, come ride with me to the distant shore. We won't hesitate, break down the garden gate. There's not much time left today. Life is a highway, I won't ride it all night long. If you're going my way, I wanna drive it all night long. Through all these cities and all these towns, it's in my blood and it's all around. I loved you now like I loved you then. This is the road and these are the hills.
That's what's on deck for this week. 3 songs. Hopefully you recognize them. Several people in the audience also recognized our new guitar on set today. Anthony Martinez, ladies and gentlemen, here in the middle, modeling the beautiful St. Vincent guitar that we have on loan from Ernie Ball Music Man. We also have the Caprice bass on loan from Ernie Ball Music Man, held by the lovely and attractive Chris Wu. But yeah, we just got this sucker in, and holy cow, it's gorgeous.
It really is, yeah.
An all rosewood neck, plays super smooth. We actually thought it was an unfinished neck. It's not an unfinished neck. It's a very, very light, specialized wax that they put together for it. Plus, I love mini humbuckers, so the thing's got some sting to it. And yeah, really beautiful, lightweight, very well balanced. Just, I can't say enough nice things about it, but you'll hear it when Anthony plays. Hi, Anthony. How you doing this week?
Oh, jeez, no pressure.
Well, you're just back in the office. You were on vacation a little bit, right?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you go? Did you go camping?
No, San Luis Obispo.
You're supposed to go camping on vacation.
Next time.
All right.
Yeah, I did a little
So
wine.
you went to San Luis Obispo where they make the Ernie Ball Music Man instruments.
I couldn't convince my wife to go on a
Oh
tour.
man, I wish I had
tours?
known. I mean, we could have worked something out. You could have stopped by, taken some photos.
It's not far. I'd love to go back. And,
okay, let's
and
do
tour.
it.
Let's
Road
do it.
trip.
Yeah, audio lunch.
Field trip.
Audio lunch.
That's
Yeah, our idea of an audio lunch is let's walk 3 blocks to the Mexican restaurant that we all like, and we can rarely get enough people together. Well, I don't know if I can do it today or whatever. So yeah, let's just do an audio lunch to San Luis Obispo.
But yeah, it was a lot You did some wine tasting. And,
Did it taste like wine?
It sure did.
All
It was-
right,
yeah,
then
it was
you
delicious.
Yeah.
You win. You much of a wine person, Chris?
I like wine, yeah.
Yeah.
I like reds
Yeah.
in particular more than whites.
Ew.
Yeah.
I don't drink wine. I drink wine coolers. That's my problem. When I was in college, that was a thing that you could get Bartles and James and stuff, and I didn't drink very much anyway.
B&J.
I rarely drink
B&J
anyway.
action.
But yeah, that was oh god, yeah. My wife said they tasted like candy, so she wasn't sure how much she was ingesting on the alcohol front. So yeah. We don't do that anymore because we're responsible adults.
On to margaritas.
That's God. Tell me, or as a friend said, like a Mountain Dew is an adolescent margarita. It's like a training margarita. And so I didn't get it at first, but then the more I drank Mountain Dew and the more I drank margaritas, I understood what he was talking about. We're going to play Life is a Highway by Tom Cochrane, which is something you should not mix with drinking. You may know this song not as the Tom Cochrane song, but as a Rascal Flatts song that was in Cars. I think that a lot of people got exposure to this song from there, but I remember hearing that and going, it's that Tom Cochrane song. And this was hot when this is 1991, so I was in college radio. We were playing this record, and I've always had a soft spot for it. Yeah. But the fun thing is the Rascal Flatts version has more guitar solos, like on the intro, outro, stuff like that. So right away when we announced this on Facebook, we had some people going like, oh, thank God it's not the Rascal Flatts version, as if like country is bad or something. But, hey, you're actually missing out on additional guitar parts. So I would urge you to check out the cover once you've heard and played the Tom Cochrane version. There might be things in the Rascal Flatts version that you might want to adopt in when you play this in your real life. Anthony, you are the only note tracker on deck, so I'm assuming you did this one?
It's true, I didn't.
Okay, well then.
Shane did it.
Shane.
Yeah.
Shane. Where did he go? I thought he came back.
He's taking this week off.
What a tease.
Man.
He'll be back next week.
All right. He better.
But yeah, I really wanted to perform this while he was out. Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
And Chris Wu immediately said, when is Life is a Highway coming? I want to do bass on that. Which is a shame because I was hoping to claim one of these 2 parts for myself. And I'm like, nope, I will defer. It's totally cool.
Oh, sorry, Dan.
What's your history? No, it's fine. What's your history with the song?
With
there?
the song? So this was one of the songs where I saw it on like the schedule, and I was like, I don't really know that song. But then as soon as I heard it, I was like, oh, it's that song. And that's a total earworm of a song.
Absolutely.
And when I looked at the tracks, the bass is like active but not too difficult really. Like it mostly stays on the top 2 strings, from the Rocksmith interface.
It moves, but it's not overwhelming.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So I was like, this is interesting but accessible for me, and I think it's like a pretty fun one to play. So when I saw a track, I was like, I like to jump on ones I can do because like if it's out of my skill range, then it's like I don't like to take that spot from somebody who can really do it justice.
Right.
Not saying I can like do this justice necessarily. But
well,
you
you're
know,
going to
it's-
have to do it justice now because
Yeah.
you just said that you did this because you could do it justice. So let's do it justice. It's Life is a Highway by Tom Cochrane, one of the 3 songs in the 90s Mix 3-pack. And, of course, you can buy these as individual singles. If these don't all do it for you, that's why we let you buy them as individual tracks. But you do save a little bit of money if you get them as a kit. You know, that's fine. I'll take a look at the chat while we do this.
Love's like a road that you travel on when there's one day and the next day gone. Sometimes you bend, sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. There's a world outside the darkened door where blues won't haunt you anymore. With a brave heart, free lover's soul, come ride with me to the distant shore. We won't hesitate, break down the garden gate. There's not much time left today.
Well, the good news is that people really like the St. Vincent guitar. The bad news is that people are coming up with terrible schemes to get it. Okay, just so you know, these are available for sale everywhere. The American-made version goes for about $1,900 new, and that's what we have here. But there is an import version coming out at the end of this month for just $600. So if you want to get the style, but maybe some of the higher-end elements don't matter as much to you, but you still love the look and feel of this guitar, go to your local guitar emporium at the end of the month, and do not threaten to, as Jams Bar did, murder Anthony and wear his skin like a wetsuit to get this guitar. So I'm just saying, maybe just get a paper route instead, you know, a little after-school job or something. McDonald's can always use some help.
I mean, I'm flattered.
Yeah. Congratulations, you won the poll of which of the Rocksmith No Tracker's skin would you like to wear as a wetsuit? So that's good. But holy cow, Jams Bar. Take it down a notch. Matt Al says he raised the young son, so he's heard the Rascal Flatts version of the song a lot, because once his son found out about the Pixar movie Cars, that's all he wanted to hear in the car was the CD over and over and over again. So I'm very aware. I'm sure several other parents are as well.
I don't know that Anthony's skin would be watertight enough to be like a wetsuit.
Well, you know, I think you'd have to do some sort of conditioning to it, sort of a, once you stitch it back up, maybe a waterproofing seal.
Yeah.
Let's not actually figure out how to wear Anthony as a suit.
Yeah.
Maybe like Anthony as business casual?
What are you wearing today? Oh, I'm wearing Martinez today. No, literally. From the Tony collection.
They do, yeah. Who are you wearing today?
Yeah, Anthony Martinez. It looks great. I don't think he's happy about it, but thank you. CJ Blanford says it's a missed opportunity for Dan to lead everybody in a clap session during the break. I am never, ever going to be that guy that leads everybody in a clap session on the stream. We're in a very small room. I think it would sound terrible on mic. Thanks, Pody.
We'd probably all be off sync.
Yeah, exactly. It would look and sound terrible.
Slow clap. Very nice.
Yeah, my clapping days are over, guys. This is a younger man's game. Yeah, that's a hell of a lot of fun song, and
super fun.
it looked like I wasn't paying attention, but that bass line is right on the level of if it was any simpler, you might be a little bit bored, and if it was any harder, you might be like, ooh, I feel a little bit underwater. But it's like right in the pocket. It's a really good beginning to intermediate bass line.
That's exactly where I put it. Where it's like, it gives you you've gotten to this point, and it's a good like little metric thing to be like. If you can get to here, it's like feel good about yourself for reaching that step, and then
Totally. And guitar-wise, any big surprises in there?
No, because I had practiced it.
Good. Any big surprises for anybody else out there?
But I must say it was a pleasure performing it with this guitar.
Yeah.
It was my first time playing it. Actually, I was a little concerned because I hadn't. I messed around with this guitar, but they make it easy. They make it easy. There's a lot of jumping around, a lot of different riffs to play on the lead path. All of it's a lot of fun. The thing that threw me for a loop the first time I tried playing this was the power chord progression in the chorus. There's a lot of quick movement, a lot of different shapes to switch between. So that's something worth riff repeating, definitely. But otherwise, it's just a lot of fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Let's give the first giveaway away because you like to see things gived away. And you might be the one that wins everything that you see right now on the screen. In addition to loaner guitars, and they are loaner guitars, people were like, of course they're going to be, they're going to magically disappear. No, we take really good care of the stuff that Ernie Ball lets us borrow, and I'm keeping the cases and everything. But this stuff they give us so that we do give it away. We can't give you the guitar, but we can give you everything that you would want to play with a guitar, such as brand new strings for both your guitar and your bass, a dozen of Ernie Ball's picks, a brand new strap. Right now they're bright white, a peg winder to make the string changing easier, and the Wonder Wipe system, which is your key to keeping your guitar as shiny and new as that St. Vincent guitar looks and feels. So, plus, of course, 3 of our special Rocksmith picks. You can only get them here. We still have some of those 1,000 milestone picks to give to you, our fans, and so we'll do that. So if you would like to win everything you see on the screen, follow UB Vertigo's advice in the chat room right now. He's going to tell you how to enter. It's just a random drawing. I will tell you that if you win, please send us your name, your address, and your phone number to Doug. Doug will contact you privately through Twitch, through the messaging system here, so you don't have to expose all of your information. But I need your all that information, including your phone number, just because if there's any problem with delivering it, that's what the mailroom gives to UPS so that they can get it to you. So good luck to you. We'll give away another one of those later in the show, but right now, just put your eyes on the chat if you have not already entered, and you may be our next winner. I really do send these out, and it's great because people have started to post them on Twitter and thank Ernie Ball on Twitter as well, which is great. It makes us look great, and so I appreciate it. And I also appreciate seeing that stuff gets there. And doesn't just go into a black hole of the mail, because some of it goes out by mail and some of it goes out by UPS. But that's how we do it. So good luck to you, and good luck to Travis Kindred, who's going to be playing the bass line to "Little Miss Can't Be Wrong" by Spin Doctors, which was no-tracked, I believe, by Jason Kokel. Correct?
Yeah, transcribed by Rye, but yeah.
Oh, okay.
level
Rye
design by
Kin
me. Yep.
is also gets the assist. He transcribed this. This is Eric Schenkman is the guitarist and Mark White is the bassist. I say this because again, this was my college radio years. Spin Doctors played my college, and I went and played, and they did. I remember when they did Two Princes. Eric Schenkman did the solo from the album note for note.
Whoa.
And I'm never sure whether I like that or don't like that. Like at that time in my life, I was like, "That's awesome. That's exactly what that's the version of the song that I know, and that's great." And then the older I've gotten, I'm sort of like, "But doesn't he get bored doing it like every night? Shouldn't they be improvising?" And then I've had this conversation with people for years. Right. How do you feel about it? When you see a band live, do you appreciate it more if they do exactly what you know from the record, or do you appreciate it more if they cut loose and do something different?
Well, I think from my experience, it depends on the band, right? Because I've been in a lot of different types of musical ensembles, like different rock bands, punk bands, orchestras, and like there are bands in which like improvisation is really awesome and really encouraged, and there are other bands where like to put the solo together in the first place is like is a feat of composition in and of itself,
right?
And they're showing off their cool thing they wrote, instead of just being like, this is my solo time. And I get that, right? It's like, If it were a jazz fusion group, I'd want to hear like every note, right? I'd want to hear it different every time. But for a lot of rock bands, like I actually really appreciate the time that they took to like write the solo.
That solo.
Yeah, because it's the concept of a guitar solo being improvisatory, like by nature, I think is not necessarily like a golden truth. Like, you know, I think it's part of a composition. It's part of something that someone wrote. And for some people, that was the whole reason they did it, because writing it was really awesome. And they want to show off what they wrote.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know, but Jason might have a different
Jason Kokol, how do you feel about all that?
Join. means the exact same.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay, you've baffled it. You kids in your internet slang, I don't know what that means.
No, actually, I used to be a legal videographer, and that's what the attorneys would say when they agreed with one another.
All right.
Join, or if they're in an objection or something like, you know, that's what they would.
That goes for me too.
Yeah,
interesting.
You just knew that's what that meant, especially when there's a room full of them. You know, they don't need to keep saying objection.
I didn't know that. Yeah. Chat got a kick out of you confusing the hell out of both of us.
Yeah, but now this song, for instance, this solo could very well be improvised, and it has that approach to it, and it's like, and it probably is,
right?
Because there is, you know, I mean, comparison. This is the second Spin Doctor song we've done.
Two Princes.
With Two Princes. That solo is definitely a written, you know, idea that's like you could play something different, but it's like it is. But this one, it's sort of blues licks, and you can tell it's a little bit loose, and it was kind of like, oh, yeah, I'm just just going for it, you know.
Which makes it almost more impressive that he did it note for note live. Is what you were saying?
No, Two Princes. He did note for note. I don't remember what
this song
that makes way more sense.
Yeah, hard to say. You know, I mean, I've never seen them, and you know, but it sounds like it's like, okay, yeah, you could easily, you know, dance around some blues licks that you know with this solo, and it'll probably be more fun in that context rather than saying, well, I played this, and then I went to this string, and then I did, you know, all of that.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
So it really depends on what the player or the writer of the solo intended, whether it's going to be, I want this structured so that it supports certain ideas that I have when I think of the song, or, hey, let's just go have fun.
Yeah, and you know, like what I always like to say is it's what the music wanted, right? It's what the song wanted.
Right.
Like the bass line in this, you know, it's very fun, very, very, very active, but it's also quite improvisatory within its structure. You know, it repeats kind of a pattern, but it changes constantly, and there's always variation being added. And I'm sure live it's different every time.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's what the song wanted.
If you are ready, is there anything you want to do to set up this song at all, Mr. Kokol, or you want to?
I think the cool thing about it is that the verses are for the guitar are also, they have subtle variation throughout. They're basically the same. It's a blues chord progression that's even that sort of boogie pattern. You know, has that in it, but he switches positions and octaves. Sometimes it's played up here, and sometimes it's here with the chords here, or sometimes it's here. And it just depends on where he wanted to do. And like, and even the lick, it's like sometimes it's there, sometimes it's here. I mean, the guy knows what he's doing, so you know, he can. It's like wherever he felt like playing. It's like his fretboard knowledge. You know, is demonstrated in this song that he's like, okay, I don't need to just play that same lick in this spot. I'm up here now. I'm just going to play it here. So
nice,
which I'm a huge fan of. If I can find an easier way to play something where I don't have to move around a whole lot, I will stick to that.
Yeah. Economy of motion.
Yep.
Yep. We talk about that a lot here, and I'm glad we do. All right, Little Miss Can't Be Wrong by Spin Doctor is one of the 3 songs in the 90s Mix 3. Again, Travis, everybody's looking forward to you killing this.
We'll see.
Because
I'll do my best.
Yeah, because they know that it's difficult.
Yeah,
and
it's a tricky
Toy
one.
Machine likes your Mega Man shirt, by the way.
Oh, hooray! I got it for my birthday last year.
I'm not surprised to hear that Eric Shankman displays good fretboard knowledge. This band is definitely a contemporary of Blues Traveler. They came up with them out of the Northeast scene. They played with a lot of improvisational bands and stuff at the time. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of fun, but freaking hard. It just looks hard all the way through. All the parts of it, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. We need
Yeah,
more.
you're welcome.
We always need more of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, first of all, you both did amazing on the scores. Not that the scores matter. Scores don't matter, but 96%, 90% are pretty freaking incredible. Let's talk about that bass line for a minute. Or as Squirrely Ninja, our friend Chris Wu, who's just on the show, said, what did the 5 fingers say to the bass? Slap. So did I see that it was actually notated correctly as a thumb slap on towards the end there, particularly like a little check mark on the? Okay, and that's Rocksmith notation for a slap. What is the matching one for a pop?
So it's, if I remember correctly, it's down for slap, up for pop.
Okay, all right.
So down for slap, up for pop.
Sure.
And the nice thing about this tune in particular is it does a lot of slap and pop, but it's almost entirely like in the octave shape. So it's always
right.
And so it's always going to be doing those octaves, which is really common, like whenever you see someone slap. I'm just using that octave shape and I'm moving it around.
Right.
And the tricky thing here is that like the first half of the phrase and the second half of the phrase kind of change. You know, it goes
so he's doing it. He's putting him.
Yeah, the emphasis on the end of one as opposed to the end of three, which is more of like a snare drum hit, and it kind of jumps on you the first time you read it. It's really fun reading that in 2-player mode because it's a little bit more condensed, and I'm like, oh, they're especially towards the end, there are a lot of notes, and I'm like, but yeah, I mean,
there are a lot of notes.
There's only one note that's not slapped or popped, and that's the very first slide. And then everything else is slap or pop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is pretty fun. I mean, you tracked it. It was. It must have been pretty fun to track.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because of all the variation, the way that this gets taught to you, especially if you're not playing it at the top level, which most people wouldn't want to just dive right in. If you're using the dynamic difficulty system, there's a point where we try to keep, and I say we because it's note tracker practice, but me in particular with this song tried to keep all of the lower levels as similar as possible for as long as possible. So because I remember that there were some bits in this song where sometimes the phrase, even at the very top level, it does start with slapping the low G. But sometimes it's leading with the octave and going down.
Yeah.
And so because it's happening in the span of an eighth note or sometimes a 16th, probably mostly if I remember correctly, there's a spot there's sometimes even on the lower levels, even on the first beat, because every other measure started with this. On the lower, before it all gets filled in, we'll still start with this, so you can still learn that. And then at some point when it starts introducing the eighth notes instead of just on that beat, then you'll get the
right.
But before it was just that right on the beat, and that's just to get the feel and stay grounded. And then eventually all those little then it starts, we start offsetting things and saying, oh yeah, no, actually, now that you know that, you have to lead with this on that a little bit. And we do that kind of thing all the time. And this one was it took a lot of work to get it right because every single phrase was different. Every single he doesn't play the pattern exactly the same, but the feel is the same. It's similar
it's
ideas.
variation on a theme at that point. And he also does the thing I really like, and it's something I do a lot, which is using open strings as ghost notes, like as transition notes. Like even though it's going from like a slow G up to high D to a C, instead of going like, which is really nice and smooth, it's and those notes are in there, but they're really about like it's about the feeling of landing and having that little push. It's sort of like a little like a ghosted bass drum hit. And especially when you're slapping, it's really nice to use. Instead of
right. And luckily it works for this song because the key that it's in matches the open strings. It would be different if it was like a half step higher or a minor third higher. Yeah, if it was in B flat and you're starting to do all those opens, I mean, people do it, but it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, and it still sounds neat, but it's like it's a little dissonant because it's not.
It doesn't have that.
Right.
Everything sort of fits together.
Those open strings in this key in particular, and you find a lot of slapping stuff in this key, like lots of, all in G major. You find a lot of that because the open strings
are complementary.
Yeah, it's really, really handy for that. But there's a lot of that triplet feel. Done with the open string and then a hammer on and then a slap. And then that's like slap bass, like gold right there.
Please come back sometime and do this on Encore and teach everybody how to play slap bass. That would be amazing.
Who's really good at slap is Sam. Sam is like
let's get you. It's not like we don't have two basses around here.
That's true. That's true. We could have a slap bass off.
A slap bass workshop. A slap off. A slap fight. Great.
There we go.
Rocksmith presents slap fight.
Perhaps we have to have life bars.
Oh, Sam would really love that. Sam is a serious fighting game fan too, so he'd probably bring one. He'd like hang one over his head.
And a timer.
We'll just put it on the monitor behind you guys.
And then you have to come out like toasty.
Yeah, I can totally do that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Anyway, thank you both. That was a great performance, and people did go nuts for it.
Great.
By the way, Ken Burns 7, nice job, guys. Holy crap. Extra Moist called it cookie-worthy, so please get yourself some cookies. And Bisco Bid said, wow, bravo, jaw on the floor, great job. So you are loved. You've done a great job. You are hereby released. As we do a little half-hour video break, it's fun to look back at how we got to where we are. And I'll tell you this, there was a time when you would think that Brian McCune's name was Professor McCune, and that's how he looks in this video. This was a video that I recently unearthed that they put out when Rocksmith 2014 came out in late 2013. So this is, 4 years old. You're going to see some familiar faces. You're going to see some faces of people who deserve credit, who aren't with us anymore, and so we don't get the opportunity to bring them up very often. But you're really, I think, going to enjoy seeing a younger, more optimistic, less life-crushed Brian McCune. But he's totally, like, really in smooth setup for this this video. So this is sort of a story about the note trackers themselves back when Rocksmith 2014 was young. Check that out. We'll also do the giveaway for this DLC pack if you'd like to win 90s Mix 3 on Steam. Our friend UB Vertigo, Doug, is going to give you some instructions on how to win that now. And when we come back from this video, we're going to see Brian Pody play Acoustic, and I can't believe we're going to do this. It's going to be fun. So please do come back. We'll be right back after this video.
We've got a pretty good crew.
My dad was a big Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimi Hendrix fan. So I remember growing up watching a lot of videos and listening to a lot of recordings of that, and so I always wanted to play.
I started when I was 13, 14, playing bass, come from a really musical family.
My first involvement with music was in church.
I studied percussion from middle school through college, actually, and played tuba.
Picked up guitar in middle school because we had an acoustic laying around.
A friend of mine had a bass. I actually wanted to play bass at first, and then he told me, no, I'm the bassist. You can't play bass. So I figured, all right, I'll pick up the thing that looks the most like the bass, and that happened to be the guitar.
Never had any lessons, kind of, was total power chord guy. Was in like a Nirvana cover band, all that good stuff.
Note Tracker transcribes all the music that all the guitars and basses are doing in a given song, and also creates a progression that will take someone from the first time they've ever played guitar, get them through the song and having fun, and eventually get them playing the entire song note to note as it was recorded.
The way we note track a song is we just load in an MP3.
The game just knows what the notes are.
And then we just sit back for 2 weeks and do nothing. No, for real, it's actually a very time-consuming process, and it's quite the endeavor. We get official assets from the licensors, we get the audio file, and then we have to first tempo map, it's beat mapping. And once we're done with that, we have to sit and listen to the recording and track every single note in every single position, and it takes a considerable amount of time. Then we enter into a review process.
We use all the tools at our disposal to get it right. And then we go in and polish, and double check and re-review, come back and do it again. And that's really where all of this experience that everybody on the team comes into play. We got guys who come from a strong jazz background. We got guys who are heavy into heavy metal. We got guys who are studio technical guys who know how to go in and make a record, make it sound super pro and polished.
We come from the conservatory setting ourselves, mostly.
We both studied composition. Born on the Bayou, not a technically difficult song to play, really straightforward, but it was really, really hard to note track because it's this kind of loose, strummy style of playing. There's this sort of difficult balance you have to reach between like, okay, here's exactly what's going on note for note in the song, versus here is something that it makes sense to teach a person to play. Something we've really tried to do in both games, but especially in Rocksmith 2014, is to make it one global, unified sound experience. And the audio design really has a lot to do with gluing that all together.
At the end of the first game, we were, again, looking for ways to make it better. And one thing that we wish we would have done more is kind of give somebody more of a space to learn how to improvise and kind of create their own sound. And so we thought, well, what if we make AI musicians? So we started with a drummer. We started with just one drummer that, when you played some stuff, the drummer listened to you and played along with you. The next step was we made a bassist and a guitar player and organ player. We kind of saw like, yes, this is the arena we were talking about. So that's what session mode is. In our audio engine, we actually made a sampler. I said, well, there's no way I can do all this. This is ridiculous. It took me 2 days to do one riff, and we need like thousands. Immediately did I realize that we needed composers. And so we got 6 guys. They make all the riffs that are gonna power the sampler instrument.
We had this big sheet of all of the different instruments that we're gonna be writing for. There'd be an example of like a song or a band and a song title or something to look at. And then when we'd actually get to those, he'd send us a few more songs.
Yeah.
Or we'd totally not listen to them and just do our own thing.
It's interesting to not have the kind of standard writing process that you would think would work. Kind of like the tested, tried and true things don't work all the time, so there's a lot of experimentation at the beginning.
Like I remember I was working on the blues guitar, and there were things for when it would play chords to make it really sound sort of realistic. It needed to be kind of slopped up. So all of the chords that I ended up writing, I ended up zooming way in and like moving each note up and down so you could really hear if it was an upstroke or a downstroke, and delaying the different strings so you could hear each string hit.
Coming from like a general album mixing or like song mixing perspective, you have one guitar, it's playing at one velocity, you have one bass, you have one drum kit, maybe you have a keyboard, but they're not moving targets, they're not going anywhere. So you can confidently say, yeah, I'm gonna filter this thing here and here, give some room to the bass here. You can sculpt this thing and it's not getting away from you. It's like a painting. Session mode,
it's a painting
it's
while
like
you're on acid. Mixing session mode was the coolest mixing project I've ever done in my life. Okay, all of a sudden we have all these instruments that need to work sonically with one another because you can pick any combination. It needs to match what you're doing. And as you get more intense, the volumes need to come up. And that was just quite a beast of a task, but like I said, was just so much fun.
There's a lot of people who know a lot of different things about a lot of different areas of music, and there's also a shared common vocabulary about music so that we can all talk and understand and know what we're saying and communicate that to the players so that they understand how musicians talk to each other.
What is this?
Mine is not Scotch.
That's our boy Jared. Still absolutely not drinking bourbon in the office. Never would. Never has. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the second half of our live stream. My name's Dan Amrick. I'm your community developer on behalf of Rocksmith. And I'm here with Brian Pody.
Hello.
Brian Pody is one of our note trackers. Brian Pody is the only person on staff who rides his bike like 40 miles to work, something like that.
I rode home 40 miles yesterday.
Yeah, for fun. Like on purpose. You're like, I think I'll get off at an earlier stop on the commuter train and just ride from there because it's a nice day. You're an insane man. And what he doesn't do is play acoustic guitar. Not very often. Brian... Yeah, acoustic, grandpa's guitars. Yeah, you know the Death Clock term for it. So what we wanted to do for this time, you know, it's camping season, right? I was making jokes about this earlier on. It's vacation. We always talk about, you know, like there's songs that you might want to learn in Rocksmith that you strum along, play at the campfire, do what you will. You know, if you'd like to actually practice on an acoustic and your acoustic doesn't have a pickup in it, if you have an electric acoustic or an acoustic electric, I guess as they would be called, you can plug straight in, you know, a 1/4-inch cable with a real tone cable into a 1/4-inch jack. Feel free; it should work absolutely fine. But because there are a lot of people out there that really love playing acoustic guitar and have no hope of plugging into an amp, no desire to plug into an amp, and therefore didn't get a guitar equipped with a pickup, there's lots of aftermarket things. But we're like, why don't we just make it so that you can plug in a microphone? Just a standard USB microphone, aim it at the guitar, and make it work. We do this for the iOS version of the game, which is currently in soft launch in Canada. You can do the same thing. Just use the microphone that's built into the iPad, point it at your guitar, and if you're in a reasonably quiet room, I was very skeptical that this was ever going to work, and I've been super impressed that it does work.
It does.
That's what we've done today is we have lashed a standard, boring old Logitech USB microphone that I got from a game that ends in Hero. It's not that one. It's DJ Hero. I actually have a DJ Hero microphone at home. Very rare. And so just plugged it straight in, lashed it to this mic stand because I forgot to bring a mic clip. Don't forget to bring a mic clip. I used gaffer's tape, which made Pody very happy with his theatrical background. Everything should be stuck to something else with gaff tape.
It's not that it should be; it's just that it is.
Oh, okay. And I said, you know, do you want to play a song? And Pody half jokingly said, let's do Iron Maiden. So I said, okay, why not? If you're going to go camping, why not Run to the Hills?
I went camping last weekend.
Did you? And did you Run to the Hills?
I did.
Did you play Run to the Hills on an acoustic?
Sure.
Next time you go, you can, because that's what he's going to do. Pody's going to play Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden on an acoustic to prove a couple of things. One, it doesn't matter what you play it on. The important part is that you're learning music that inspires you and makes you want to play. And two, yeah, this really does work. Even if you don't pick the songs that you traditionally associate with acoustic guitar, you can actually play them on acoustic in Rocksmith and everything else. So the way that this works, the only sort of technical difference is that it doesn't generate a tone, right? When it's using the microphone, it's only looking for a clean tone, which is all the real tone cable is doing too. When we plug in with an electric guitar with the real tone cable, it's giving it a clean signal. That's why you should not put any pedals in between your guitar and your console or your PC when you're using the real tone cable. It wants the purest, loudest, cleanest signal it can get. Here, well, you have no other option. So it's listening for very pure tones. Don't put any extra effects on your acoustic either, I suppose. So you're going to do Run to the Hills because you like Maiden, and if you're going to go camping, why not, right?
Yeah, this is the second note track I ever did.
Is it really? Wow.
I did two in the Iron Maiden pack.
So you better know this back of your hand. Play with the front though, because play with the tips. I think it's gonna be much better.
Brendan and I used to play this in a band too.
Oh, all right. Well, that's excellent. So I just figured everybody would get a kick out of seeing Pody A, play acoustic, and then of course B, play something totally inappropriate for acoustic. What are you looking for?
It's all wrong.
The fact that it's got wood and air and
there's nothing
bracing.
Pointy?
Yeah, no, sorry, there's nothing pointy. Good luck doing pinch harmonics. Let's play Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden just for the novelty value. Everybody's really digging this. This is going to be epic, said somebody else. I'm sorry, I'm missing all of your comments. Oh, yes, and people are noticing. We normally have two players, but we decided to give Pody the stage. And I'll keep it down so that I don't mess up.
Brendan actually sang this.
I believe that. I'm just saying, if you were going to a camping trip, somebody busted this out at a campfire, that'd be the most metal campfire ever. No pinch harmonics?
I can play them. They can't hear them.
Yeah, you can't hear. Well, that was what people were saying. Like, I can't hear him actually playing the. Thank you. I can't hear him actually playing the acoustic. And I said, well, that's because in microphone mode, it's actually just detecting the notes. It doesn't then sort of feed them through the system or generate a tone for it. It's just doing detection because obviously you can hear it if you're playing acoustic in the room. It's designed for that. And our microphones here are designed to reject any noise that isn't coming out of my mouth because I can get picked up on all of the other microphones.
Yeah, you can hear yourself fine, but if all the tones were turned on in-game and you were playing it back through speakers and you had a lot of distortion on your acoustic guitar because you were playing Iron Maiden because it's awesome, it would probably feed back a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, probably would. Somebody pointed out to me that Matt Al, I said, that would be the most metal campfire ever. He goes, we call that a barbecue. And he's probably right. Extra Moy said he'd rather hear Iron Maiden over James Taylor at a campfire any day. That's endless golf clap from Comatose Vessel. Endless golf clap. Just have that as your soundtrack riding home today, is that you've done a man's job today. If you have any questions for Pody about being Brian Pody, or being a note tracker, or building guitars, which is something that Brian Pody does in his copious free time, or anything else like that, or if you just have general Rocksmith questions, now is the time to ask. We do this every show where you have an opportunity to ask the note tracker who is stuck up here after the third song, whatever you want to ask them, and I will try to answer some of the basic things. I guess we should address the worst news that came out today, which is that Chester from Lincoln Park was found dead. He committed suicide, which is a terrible, terrible thing. And we tweeted about this. And seriously, we've got a link on Twitter. If you are ever that despondent, please don't be. There are people that can help you. Nobody wants to lose somebody that way by their own hand. It's terrible. Obviously, we feel horrible about it, and we know that whether he was playing with Linkin Park or whether he was singing with Stone Temple Pilots, he touched a lot of people. We've seen some pretty emotional outpouring on our social media sites where people are saying like, this music really means a lot. So please don't be the next person that does that and takes something away that everybody loves. So our serious condolences to the family. He has 6 children, and so they're going to be going through hell that hopefully none of us will ever have to experience. But that being that, I mean, there's got to be something better that we can talk about, something more uplifting, hopefully. Let me see what I got. 4 questions. Okay, Matt Al asks, what would be the chances of each song having a note to the key that it's in? Because it would sort of release a lot more information that we could look up, like what chords are in that key, which scales. It's my only criticism now that I've improved to the point where I'd like to know. Learning what the difference was, I'll be completely honest, when I started playing guitar, I thought that whatever the first chord in the song was must have been its key.
The first or the last, I mean,
sometimes that's the case.
That's often a good bet.
But that's not, when I said that to an experienced musician, I got dressed down like you would not believe. He was so obnoxious to me for not knowing. I'm just like, man, that's how you learn. You got to ask questions. And sometimes you figure stuff out on your own. You go, I think this is how it works, and you only know when somebody says. Will that be incorporated into the game? Probably not as you see it, but it's a good idea, and we'll keep it in mind for the future. One of the things that we know that people would like more of. The good news is that Rocksmith clearly and obviously teaches people how to play guitar, but where do you go from there? I think that we are missing some intermediate and advanced stuff that we've been talking about, like, gee, how do we serve that stuff? So those conversations are ongoing, and that's the kind of stuff that we're talking about of, like, what else could we do, and what else do we want to do, and how should this evolve? So
yeah, we definitely talk a lot about musicianship and how to incorporate that.
Yeah, so I don't have like a definitive answer for you, but I do want you to know that it's not falling on deaf ears. It is the kind of stuff that that the music nerds in the office generally discuss at long.
And session mode does touch on that in a way that Learn a Song does not.
Yeah. Let me see. I caused this. There's an awful lot of people sending out, condolences to Chester Bennington from Lincoln Park. Unfortunately, the news is true. Somebody actually suggested that maybe we were posting and it was fake news on our Facebook. I'm like, no, just so you know, I take that stuff really seriously. I look for sources, credible, verifiable sources before I share anything through our official channels, because I don't, first of all, I don't want to just post rumors anyway, and second of all, what a terrible rumor to have posted if it wasn't true, to give somebody such terrible news and say, oh, sorry, just kidding. No, it's unfortunate, but it's true. Yeah. Let me see what else we got. Don't see anything. Oh, how are songs delegated? Says Extra Moist. That's a pretty good question, and I think we'll do that one, and then we'll just move on to the final song. How are songs delegated? Who does what and why?
It's mostly the twisted mind of Brian McCune.
Brian Adam McCune, manager of Muggle Music Studies.
Manager of Musical Muggles. Occasionally, some of us will see something coming up in the pipeline and we'll ask to do it, and then we regret it.
Right. Well, did you volunteer for Hocus Pocus by Focus? Was that what?
Yeah, I think Hocus Pocus and Metropolis were both ones that I was like, I'm going to do that.
Right. And did you get assigned from Rocksmith too the Nutcracker Suite, the Tchaikovsky medley? I remember being one of the people who said, it would be great if we did this. I don't think it was purely my idea, but then you wound up doing it. Did you say, oh, that is a good idea, I'll do it, or did you just sort of get stuck with it? Okay.
So yeah, generally whenever I ask to do something, it's probably a bad decision.
Right. The short version is it's Brian's job to make sure that everybody's working on something. He's got a pretty detailed chart, and we go over it every week. And we have a weekly meeting on Mondays, actually, where all the note trackers get together for half an hour and say, this is what I'm working on, this is what I need help on, this is what I've done that I need other people to review. I'm reviewing 5 other things. You guys have a full system of not only what you're working on, but who's checking your work and who's sort of making suggestions based on what's already been done and stuff like that. So
Coco built out a whole system a couple years ago now, maybe even 3 years ago, that you put your stuff into this database, and then when another note tracker is ready to do a review, they say, all right, give me a review, and it assigns something out of the queue, rather than the good old days where it was a bit more cowboy.
Hey, can you do this thing for me? Can you check my thing? Is that what it was?
Yeah, we used to work in teams, and it was email back and forth.
Yeah, never mind. Now it's just like push button, song is dispensed. So there is actually a vending machine somewhere. I always say that our request app is not a vending machine.
Yeah, there's a work vending machine. Here's more work.
Great. Hey, fantastic. Glad you enjoyed that. All right, well, if you have more questions, obviously we're always open to them. You can reach out to us on social media. The easiest ways to get a hold of us is Twitter. We're at Rocksmith Game and at Ubisoft Studio SF. And over on Facebook, we're /Rocksmith and /Ubisoft Studio SF. We have another song coming up, but before we do that, we have to get our real-tone cables plugged in again, and I have to show you what you may have missed. Obviously, this being 90s Mix 3, there must have been 90s mixes before this, and it just so happens that there were 2. And the first of those 90s mixes was, let's see, Filter, Real Big Fish, and Everclear. And then, of course, if you really like Everclear, we have more Everclear. You can get these. I'm not sure if these are now available. This may be available as a pack now, because some of our things that were singles, we actually went back, our licensing team went back and got permission to include these in bundles, which is super great. So you may be able to get the next 3 songs as a pack, but I brought this up specifically because we were talking about Spin Doctors, and Two Princes is one of the songs that's already in our library. So yeah, if that's of interest to you, I figured I'd let you know. Oh boy, I'm playing bass on this next song. Where do you want me to sit? You want me to sit center, or I'll go on the side. I'll go on the wing. What else do we have there, Mr. Travis, on the Wheels of Steel as we shuffle bodies around? We have one big release for iOS DLC this week, and that's Rush. It's a lot of songs from Rush, so if you want to buy these individually on iOS, you can, or you can buy them as one huge giant bundle, which is super cool. But this being a soft launch in Canada for the time being, we figured, like, hey man, we got to get Rush out there, because that's like didn't they do the national anthem? Isn't "O Canada" by Rush? Pretty sure it is, yeah. That shows what we know down here in America, but hopefully if you're up in Canada and you're looking for stuff to inspire you to play, we know that it is every good Canadian's duty to dig on Rush. So that's what we've got this week. Are you still on the card? I can't tell. Oh, you are? Okay. So Travis and Pody are getting everything all together. When you play microphone mode, we kind of recommend giving the game a restart, and I think that's what we're running into here. Is that you're good? You're good? Oh, you're waiting on me? Well, don't wait on me. Let's get my crash and burn done, because I'm gonna do bass on this last song, and it's gonna be funny. Rather than efficient, but I can no longer see the monitor, so I don't know. Oh, there we go. Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
How you doing, Sam?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Well, I'm scared because, as I like to say, you lied to me. We were in that Monday meeting, and that Monday meeting is also when I say, hey, who's available to play which songs? Did I get this right? I always try to put the note tracker on the song. Sam note tracked All Right by Supergrass, or Wamsi?
No, Wamsi did it.
Wamsi did it.
Yeah.
So Sam volunteered, and I said, I'll play bass on whatever's easiest, which is generally my refrain every week, is whatever I can sort of slop together because I don't have a lot of time to practice during the week.
I accidentally lied to you.
Oh, look at you. Stop it with those crazy effects, you crazy kids. And I said, what's easy? And they're like, well, the Tom Cochran bass line is pretty approachable. Yeah, Chris Wu already claimed that one.
Right. Yeah.
And what about Little Miss? Oh, no, Little Miss is impossible. Okay, Travis, can you do that? He goes, of course, because that's what we do with very difficult bass lines is we shove them on him. So I said, well, what about Supergrass? I mean, the song All Right, I know that from Clueless, and it's a really fun track. And Sam goes, yeah, it's pretty easy. What's easy to Sam Schwartz is not easy to everybody else.
Oh,
and so I was like, this is great. And so I started playing it, and I'm hoping for 85% today. I'm going to play it at 100%, and I'm going to do it, but it moves faster than my fingers seem to want to commit to doing.
I'm going to botch this solo.
No, you're going to do great. You said it was not that hard either. And besides,
that part's really hard.
You're playing the St. Vincent, so what could possibly go wrong?
Probably me not being used to the guitar and then not being very good at the song. Those are things that could go wrong.
We have no real wisdom for you, I think, because this was Wamsi's note track, and it's not the kind of thing. I mean,
fun song.
Fun song. Definitely a fun song.
I slowed it. I was like, man, it really sounds like R&B-ish and or doo-wop-y, you know? And then what I did was I took the song and I slowed it down to like 85-90% speed, and I was like, it is like a doo-wop song. So it's a fun thing you can do to screw with the tempos of songs to see where that comes from.
Or to learn them, because that's what I had to do. I knocked it down to 75% while I was trying to get some of the trickier licks under my fingers.
That's another way to do it.
And all right, so now that I've licked my fingers, let's do this. It's All Right by Supergrass, one of the 3 songs in 90s Mix 3, and we'll make sure our tuning is correct, and it is, because Pody bypassed the tuning. You can do that, folks. You didn't used to be able to do that. In a pre-remastered world, people forget, but you couldn't go past it. So I'll shut up and flail.
Man, my part's really easy, man. Why don't you just do that?
I love you, Sam.
See you on the other side, man. All right. I feel all right. F. E minor. Every E.
I'll be good at this in like several more years.
Lots of D in this one.
I actually did one run.
All right, Dan. It's my turn to
Good, please
botch
do.
it.
I wish I could botch it like that. It sounded great.
So fun.
If you are going to completely fail at playing a bass line correctly, I recommend the Caprice bass for making it the most pleasant experience.
It's fun.
I don't think it was fun. I think I got over 80, but I don't think I got over 85. I'll be very surprised. Yeah, like there's some really nice little runs in there, and I just got them all wrong. 81%. 81. See, I will take 81. It's all right. My performance is all right. You couldn't ask for a better joke than that to end it. It actually told me you're going to be a superstar because you got 93%. So for somebody who was not too sure of the solo going in, you certainly figured it out on the way out.
Yeah,
so well done.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you very much. It's always fun to play with you, Sam.
Oh,
I'm glad you threw me under the bus so that I could learn something new and I could play outside of my comfort zone and all that stuff that you're saying I should do because, as has been established, Sam and I have the same exact size hands. And so I was like, oh, no, my fingers are too small and stubby and I can't play every breath you take.
Like,
that was
bull.
that was exactly what he said. He's like, no, that's
Garbage.
an excuse. And the best part was I think we were out in public. We were at that
we
guy's
were at
house.
that guy's house.
Yeah.
And you were like, my hands are too
My
small.
hands are too small. And
I
he's
was
like, that is a cop-out excuse. You give me your hands. I will show you. And you
I
actually...
said, Dan, show me your hand.
Yeah.
And you were like, okay. And I was like, and you were like, oh
crap.
crap.
Like all of my excuses went right out the window.
Yeah.
And so,
I did the same thing to a 9-year-old girl once when I was giving her a lesson. I can't play the C chord. My hands are too small. And I was like, give me your hands.
Give me your hands. Look,
and she was like, oh. And I was like, play the chord.
If I can do it, you can do it.
I make a living doing this.
I have the hands of a 9-year-old girl myself.
I do, yeah. Hands of a 9-year-old girl.
Well, people seem to like the performance anyway. Elisa Rockdock called it super grass performance. So that was great.
That's cool.
Hey, how many days a week do I play guitar or bass? Says Burn121. Like one. Like honestly, most of my job is handling other things and typing and screaming at people on the internet and being screamed on the internet. So I get to play guitar more at home.
Dan needs
for
like
fun.
a digital fire extinguisher for Twitter.
Yes, I do. Let me tell you,
like
man.
whenever your birthday comes up again, it's February, right?
Yes, it is, actually. I'm an Aquarius, thank you. I like long walks on the beach. And
he's also taken.
Yes, and I'm taken, ladies. So, yeah, I think that's our show, more or less. I did want to call out that we had some folks in the chat room today who I spotted their names. Bloomer for the Win was out there. BBQ Kyle was out there. And Elisa Rockdock is out there. All three of these people actually do stream Rocksmith themselves as well. So first of all, thanks for stopping by. Second of all, click on their names and follow them. They are going to be fun shows. I've started to check out some of their streams as well, and I highly recommend that you check them out because there's a lot of people out there streaming Rocksmith, but I like the way that they do what they're doing. So, hey, if you want to win more stuff, this is the chance. While we wrap up the show, our final giveaway is for another Ernie Ball prize pack, which looks exactly like this. I mean, it's uncanny how much it looks exactly like this. All these things, all these prizes that are not yet appearing on the screen, but will be appearing momentarily.
I'll try again.
All of those, boom. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Sam. You triggered it. All of these prizes can be yours. A brand new set of Ernie Ball regular Slinky strings. These are industry standard strings. These are the strings against which all others are judged for both guitar and bass. Really good medium gauge, good for playing lead, good for playing rhythm, good for playing slap and pop for that matter on the bass. So they're good to have, and if you're not already an Ernie Ball user, you might really enjoy getting some sets of strings for free from us to check them out. Plus string winder, which will make changing them a lot easier. A brand new strap. It's always good to have a spare one of these with you in your gig bag, in your case. You never know when a friend is going to lose one or yours might break because it's a piece of crap. because you didn't buy an Ernie Ball strap to begin with. So we can fix that problem for you. The Wonder Wipes is Ernie Ball's maintenance system. Keeps it very nice and tidy and clean. It's an easy way to keep your guitar in tip-top shape. So this is string cleaners, polish cloths with polish on them already baked in, and fretboard conditioner, particularly good when you are changing your strings. Give your fretboard, particularly your rosewood or your ebony fretboards, give them some moisture in between and restore some of the oils that your fingers naturally take out of the wood when you play. And of course, picks, lots of picks. A dozen picks from Ernie Ball, medium gauge at the moment, and I think in fashion colors, in fact. And also 3 of our picks that you can only get here. These are the Rocksmith 1,000 song milestone commemorative picks. And as of this week, I think we have is it 1,068 songs or 1,071 songs? I don't know. Only Toy Machine SH knows for sure. He keeps a pretty good list that's frankly better than the one on my computer. So, in any case, that's our show this week. Thank you so much for showing up. It's always fun. Please do tell your friends. We have a lot of fun here, and it's always good to meet new people. And you know, if you have friends that are playing Rocksmith and they don't know that they can come here and ask us questions live on the air, by all means, let them know that they can do that and hang out with us. That would be fun. And of course, if that doesn't work, bribe them with free things from Ernie Ball or free DLC. Thank you to UB Vertigo. Doug is our community manager, working tirelessly to not only moderate our chat room and do all your giveaways, but he's also one of the voices that helps us keep track of stuff on the Facebooks and on the Twitters and in our social media areas. You may see him posting over in Steam, particularly. That's a place that he tends to hang out more often than not. If you have any other questions for us, reach out to us on those same social media areas, at Rocksmith Game on Twitter, at Ubisoft Studio SF, / Ubisoft Studio SF on Facebook, and / Rocksmith, and you will find us there, where we're talking about music like, say, the 90s Mix 3-pack. What's coming next week? It's always the big question that we have at the end of every week. More DLC is coming next week, and yeah, I think next week will be interesting. I'm not sure. Last week we did have a puzzle from Rolling Stone 222, but frankly, with the untimely passing of the lead singer of Linkin Park, I'm a little behind on my email today because I've been checking out what's going on in our social spaces with that. So I don't know what we're doing to tease next week's DLC tomorrow and in the forums at rocksmith.com, but we'll do something to tease the DLC for next week in the forums at rocksmith.com. While you wait for that teaser to come, and you set your calendar for next week, Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. GMT, we will leave you with a look at the trailer for the 90s Mix 3. These 3 songs are available now on all platforms. Check it out, dig it. Hopefully you enjoyed this week, and maybe it was nostalgic for you, or maybe it was brand new music for you. Either way, hopefully you found something in this pack that will be fun, challenging, and inspirational. That's why we do what we do. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Dan Emmerich. I'm your community developer, and I will see you next week. Bye, everybody. Rated T for Teen.
Love's like a road that you travel on when there's one day and the next day gone. Sometimes you bend, sometimes you stand, sometimes you turn your back to the wind. There's a world outside the darkened door where blues won't haunt you anymore. With a brave heart, free lover's soul, come ride with me to the distant shore. We won't hesitate, break down the garden gate. There's not much time.